Welcome to our weekly weigh-in. Today is Sunday, August the 4th, 2024. We're Lorraine and Christopher Durham, and this is The Downsized. Here we share our GLP-1 weight loss journey, along with some tips, tricks, and the latest updates on GLP-1 medications like Mounjaro, Zep Bound, Wegovy, Ozempic, I was combining the two.
You were.
Tirzepatide, and semaglutide. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. That way you get notifications about when we record a new video or go live.
Make sure you hit the bell, though, so it'll actually beep at you when you hear it.
Awesome.
As always, a little bit of a caveat. We are not doctors or medical professionals. Always consult a qualified healthcare professional before starting any weight loss medication or treatment. So, as everyone knows, if you've been here before, if not, hello, nice to see you. This is our weekly weigh-in. This is where we tell you about our weekly progress update, tell you a little bit about what's going on in our life, and honestly give you the weight loss numbers or weight gain numbers as they may be.
What are the numbers?
So Lorraine, you get started off.
This is the 42nd week of our weight loss journey. I am currently in maintenance. I had a starting weight of 193 pounds. I got to my goal weight of 150 pounds in 27 weeks. That was 43 pounds in 27 weeks, which was 1.59 pounds per week. So between 1 and 2 pounds a week was my average, and that's what's recommended. It's not a fast process, but it is a consistent weight loss, and those little losses add up.
See, I laugh because I think it's fast.
That's not fast.
Well, it took me 20 years to put almost 100 pounds on.
Yeah, women have been dieting, and we all want to lose like 20 pounds for that reunion or 10 pounds for that party that we have coming up or to fit in that dress. So if you tell somebody they're going to lose 1 to 2 pounds a week, most of the time they're going to be like, it's not worth it. Why bother? But I'm here to tell you it's totally worth it. It adds up. This is the most consistent weight loss I've ever had, and I've done every program. Okay, so we also lost weight in the fall last year, fall and winter. Mm-hmm. We lost weight over Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's. Consistent weight loss, where usually we were gaining weight in that time of year. I always gained like 8 to 10 pounds over Christmas. This year, I think we lost 8 or 10 pounds over Christmas. You're probably wondering, how tall are you now that you're at your goal weight? I always want to know, how tall are you? So I used to be 5'5.5", but unfortunately I have shrunk. I'm 55 years old, so now I am 5'4.25", which is why I put my goal at 150. I did have it at 155. I dropped it to 150. I might even drop it a little bit lower, but when I got to 150, I decided to go lower, and then over the next 11 weeks, I lost another 7 pounds. And so I got to a total of 50 pounds down. Yay, me. Okay, so last week my weight was 143 pounds. This week, I was at 148 pounds. Yes, friends, that is 5 pounds up. We just got back from a vacation on Thursday. We went on a cruise, a 4-day cruise. We were gone a total of about 5 days. So today, that's a good vacation. That's a good vacation. We got back on Thursday. We drove back from Florida, so we drove all day. And then Friday, got right back on it. I went to my normal Friday exercise bar class, and then I stayed and did a yoga class just because I just felt, just from being in the car, I just felt so, and that was really helpful. I weighed myself this morning because I weigh myself every day, and I was down a couple more pounds. Saturday, I went to my Weight Watchers, and I weighed in there. I was only up a pound on their scales, but I hadn't been there in a couple weeks, so it's all good. But yeah, so just getting right back on that.
There were times in our 20-plus year marriage where if you had gained 5 pounds
I would be
in
crying.
a week, you would have a nervous breakdown.
There would be tears. I've certainly done that before on other vacations. You know what? It's different now. I know that this medication works. Oh, also, P.S., what dose level am I on, you might ask? Okay, so I went all the way up to 12.5, and then once I hit my goal weight, I started dosing back down. The day we left for a vacation, we took our shot, and I did a 5 milligram dose. It was my second week coming back down at 5 milligram. And I just don't think that dose is enough for me now that I've gone all the way up. And I was feeling I wanted to eat all the food. And we were around a lot of food on the cruise, so I could really feel my old food noise creeping back in. I think that was what made it hard for me. When we got home and took our shot on Friday, our normal shot day is Friday, I went up to 7.5. And I'm going to have to hang out at 7.5, I think, a few more weeks. Definitely until I get this 5 pounds back off. But today I have just been wanting to eat, and I don't know why. So I'm trying to just eat protein. So I drank a protein shake this morning. I had a Greek yogurt. Then for lunch I had a sandwich. I had a protein bar after that. And I think I cut it off. But so if you're hungry, eat protein is what I always say.
Well, give your body something to digest.
Yeah.
For sure.
So
but you said your first weigh in after the cruise, you were up 5, and then you were down a little bit this morning. So
I think now I'm only up like 3.
Okay, so
I think by the end of the week I'll probably be back to flat, hopefully. I don't like how hungry I've been feeling. It might be that on the cruise I was just eating so much more food that my body got used to that kind of calorie level, and now that I've tried to drop it back down, like yesterday, Friday, I didn't eat very much. Maybe, I don't know, my body's trying to adjust, trying to fill it with protein. I use compounded tirzepatide. I've used that for my entire journey. Tirzepatide is the same medicine that is in Mounjaro, that was developed for type 2 diabetes, and Zep Bound, which same medicine, just developed for weight loss. I use Mochi Health, which is an online provider. If you'd like to try out Mochi Health, you can use my discount code, which is QIYGO8, and save $40 on your first GLP-1 order. The link is in the description, and it's joinmochi.com.
And for those of you who have heard all the news surrounding Eli Lilly and the FDA shortage list, if you haven't caught my video from earlier this week when they made the announcement, please go take a look at it. It goes into a lot more detail, and then we'll also discuss it in the news. This is an ongoing conversation, and we're aware, and we're all working through this together.
Yep. How'd you do this week, Christopher?
My starting weight was 285.4 pounds and rapidly ascending at that. So I was going to hit 300 probably within a few months there. Beginning there in September of 2023. This week I was up 1.4 pounds after the cruise.
Only 1.4.
Not too bad. No. My current weight is 211.4. So is that, I might not have done that math. I think last week I was 210 point something. I don't know if I did the math right or not. But anyway, pretty close. So I'm down a total of 74 as of this week. Lost that pound plus a little bit from last week, but that's okay. We're all making it. I'm on a 15 milligram dose of compounded tirzepatide on the 6th week of this dose, and it's doing fine for me. The reaction's been a little, I don't know, it's been making me a little...
You were a little different yesterday afternoon.
Yeah, I don't know what the word is.
You were a little, maybe more tired. Maybe
a little more tired, a little more, just a little brain fog, honestly.
Yeah, and you had driven 10 hours the day before, so, I mean, you were tired to start with.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I mean, the same standard constipation, mild constipation, that sort of thing. And on my journey, and I say this every week, I started on compounded tirzepatide, went, after working with my local doctor, to Mounjaro, and then to Zep Bound, all as a result of shortages. Shortages happened some more. We went back to compounded tirzepatide. People ask me pretty much on a daily basis about that progression. I saw no difference in how well the medications worked or in the side effects. If you had told me it was the same thing, I wouldn't have known.
Yeah. All the same.
Among any of the
compounded versus name brand, same effects,
Yep.
same side effects, same. I've only done compounded.
I think actually yesterday when I weighed, I was 3 pounds up. So when we got back, yesterday morning, when we got back, I was 3 pounds up, and now I'm 1.4, so as of today.
Oh, so you're really 3 pounds up.
Yeah.
Well, I could have said I was 3 pounds up. As of this morning.
Well, say it however you like. It's what the scale says today.
It's all relative. Could I have made better choices? Yes. I think for me, buffets are very hard to
Was it the buffet
manage.
or was it the wine?
We did get the drink package. I don't know why we got the drink package. I think because this particular cruise line doesn't separate a soda package from a... It was all the easy... We were on an MSC
It was a very
cruise.
inexpensive drink package.
So they called it the easy package, which was... you could have Heineken, random, their house wine, or well-brand mixed drinks.
And sodas, bottled water.
And sodas, bottled water, sparkling water.
Sparkling water, all that
That's
stuff.
one thing when I go on a cruise, I'm always worried I won't be able to get enough water. So I do recommend taking, and I took this big cup with me. I did not fill up this big cup one time because I didn't use it. I used it in the car on the way down, and when we're in the hotel, I used it. But sometimes it's hard to carry all the things. And with our drink package that we got, we could get bottled water at any bar. Just walk up and get a bottle of water or sparkling water. So that was just as easy as carrying around, lugging around my big cup. And I did notice on my scale app, I was a little dehydrated when we got back. My body water was down from where it usually is, so I didn't drink enough water for sure on the cruise, and probably drank too much wine.
Yeah.
You know, but it was vacation, so it's fine. Also, we have a series called The Downsized Dish, where we talk to people about their GLP-1 journeys and experiences. If you'd like to join us and be interviewed on The Downsized Dish, please send me an email to ldurham@folio28.com, and we'll get you signed up. We'll have about a 30-minute conversation, and you can tell us how it's been going. And it's for every level in the journey. So whether you're thinking about it, you just started, you're in the middle, you're in maintenance, people out there want to know how other people are doing it, and their questions and what's worked for them.
And then please make sure to join us on Thursday for the Downsized Live. That's where Lorraine and I pop into our YouTube channel live. We answer questions. We chat in general with folks out there. And usually there's a couple hundred people asking questions and talking amongst themselves as well. This week it'll be once again at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, and we'd love to see you there. So if you haven't joined us before, please do. After doing the weigh-in, we always do what are we up to this week. Obviously, the big subject of the week is the cruise. To give you the high-level kind of thing, it was a 4-night, 5-day cruise. We drove from our home in Charlotte, North Carolina, or just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina, to Port Canaveral, Florida. So it's about a 7-8 hour drive, depending on how many times we stop to go to the bathroom and get gas and so forth. Mm-hmm. It's not a terrible drive, but my family doesn't love the drive to begin with, so it's always a challenge.
I hate it.
We were on a cruise line called MSC, which is an Italian cruise line, relatively new to the United States. They have, 3, 4, 5 ships sailing out of mostly Florida. There's one sailing out of New York. The one we were on was called the MSC Seashore. Being an Italian cruise line, it's a little different than a Carnival or a Royal Caribbean, but it's that same mainstream level.
Yeah.
We love cruising. I think I was going to go back and count. We've cruised, somewhere between 15 and 20 times in the last 10 years, probably.
Yeah.
What do you like about cruising in general?
I like that you don't have to plan anything. You don't have to decide where to eat because there's a place to eat. You just pick your activities, and there's a bunch of activities there to do. So there's always something to do. You might go to a different port, see different things. You don't have to, if you were traveling on your own, you'd have to unpack and pack and go to your next location. But on a cruise, you just unpack one time, and then the boat takes you to places.
Beautiful new ship. Held about, 5,000 people. And it was the summer, so there was a lot of people on the ship.
A lot of people, a lot of kids, a lot of families. We took our 2 daughters. Their ages are 18 and 20.
So, yeah. College students and teenagers, so that's...
Yeah, we're getting ready to take them to college in 2 weeks.
Great cruise. There were 2 port stops. We stopped at MSC's private islands called Ocean Cay. Mm-hmm. If you've never been, it's a beautiful island they've built basically from the ground up from an old sand quarry kind of commercial site. It's got lots of swimming areas and buffets and all sorts of things.
Yeah.
A large lighthouse that does a digital light show on the sides. And they actually spend the night at that island, and they do a party on the beach. And we actually missed it because we were doing something else, but they do a party on the beach, which is pretty fun. And then the next day we were in Nassau, Bahamas. If you've never been to Nassau, that's a very frequent cruise stop. We've probably been there more than anywhere else.
They just renovated the cruise port in Nassau about a year ago. And so it's much nicer than it used to be. The shops are a little bit more upscale. Some of them, you can still go out into the straw market and find your deals on t-shirts and stuff if that's what you want to do. And we've done snorkeling excursions out of Nassau before that are very nice. We just didn't do one this time.
We'll do a whole other video and kind of distill down our last 15, 20 cruises into
tips for when you go on a cruise.
Tips for when you go on a cruise for GLP-1.
Because there's a lot.
Watch for that.
We figured out we have a lot of tips for cruises. So if you like cruises, be
Mostly
sure to...
because I've done it wrong at one point or another, so we know what not to do.
And on this particular one, this isn't about food or anything,
No.
but the cabin we were in was right above the gangway.
Right.
So when we got to a port, we hear the gangway go crash. And we're like, what is happening? We were like,
Right.
that's never happened
So
to us.
if you watch, there's lots of cruise YouTubers out there, and
Yeah.
if you're into that at all, one of the common things they'll tell you is look at the floor above you, look at the floor
Right.
below you, and make sure there's not a dance club or
Yeah, one time we were under the pool deck, and so we could hear them moving the pool
the
chairs.
chairs
I'm
around.
like,
Well, I've never seen anybody say look 3 floors down, because if the gangway is outside you, it's going to sound like the world's coming to an end. So, you learn something every time.
oh, and also on this one, just point of reference, it was foggy, and the ship was blowing its foghorn through the night.
Periodically, so nothing ran into it. Yeah.
I've never had that happen before. So I was like, why are they blowing the horn at 2 o'clock in the morning? But anyway,
So we didn't crash.
we did not crash. So,
Well,
yeah.
but so did you like the ship?
I did. I was trying to think if there's anything in particular that I liked. They have some hot tubs on just a random 8th floor that are like on the sides of the ship, so you can be in the hot tub and look out at the ocean. I always want to see the ocean when I'm on a cruise ship, whether I'm at dinner, whether I'm in my room, whether I'm walking around. I want to know that I am on a ship. I want to see the ocean. So I liked that, those hot tubs.
And they have lots of pools on that ship.
They do. Some Carnival cruises we've been on, there's only one pool, and then you get 1,000 kids in the one pool. But this one, it was more spread out. And there were water slides and like a water area for the kids, which would have been great when our kids were little. But now they're like not into that because they're not into that anymore.
We might have overindulged a little in the buffet, but that's okay, or in the bar. But in general, what was your thought, if you're a GLP-1 user, about the food on the ship?
There's plenty of places for protein. If you're hardcore, you're going to do it and you're going to make this work, I would say make sure your drink plan has water, or bring a big cup for water that you can fill up with ice and water at the buffet. And go in with a plan. There's always going to be eggs on the buffet that you can have for breakfast. There's always going to be some form of breakfast meat that you can have. There's also going to be 1,000,001 pastries. So you have to, and I was bad about, oh, that looks good, I want some of that. Oh, that looks good, I want some of that. I used to say maybe pick one treat a day. I was picking several treats a day. It's just, it just depends on what your goals are.
Quite working hard enough for you.
Yeah, that 5 milligram dose was not.
Because for me,
you were eating a good amount of food, but it wasn't like you were always looking for food.
no,
You know what I
I'm
mean?
on 15. Nothing was really calling to me. It wasn't. You know,
Yeah.
honestly, I think the challenge for me is because I rarely eat breakfast. So adding breakfast
Yeah.
to the mix is just adding calories that my body's not used to.
That's true.
For me, it's going to be, because we do lots of cruises, and this was a family cruise, so it was a little different for us about keeping the routine as much as I can at home. I don't, because I've worked it out that it works, right? And there were lots of good options, and I'll cut in some pictures of it. Like in the breakfast buffet, there was, for those of you that love cottage cheese, it's all the rage these days. It was cottage cheese bowls, there was overnight oats, there was yogurts and different things, and chias and all sorts of things. And then they had omelet stations, and there was plenty of places to make good choices if you decided to.
Right.
There was plenty of places to indulge if you decided to.
And also, you could go in the restaurant and eat and sit down and eat breakfast. I generally don't like to sit that long in the morning. I don't want to sit in a dark room.
But if that buffet is going to be too much of a temptation for you, that might be a strategy.
You could do that.
Because they'll bring you as much as you want, but they'll bring you what you order, not have the
sometimes we've sat in the
100
restaurant.
yards of.
Yeah, sometimes we've sat in the restaurant waiting on things, and that makes me antsy, so I'd rather grab it myself. But we did eat dinner in the regular in the main dining room a couple times, and it was pretty good. There's definitely things that we liked and things we didn't like.
Yeah, I mean, for me, mainstream cruise ships, Carnival, Royal Caribbean, MSC, Norwegian, I always think the dining rooms are hit or miss. I always think there was something that was pretty good, and there was a few things that just should have never hit a plate.
Yeah. Well,
once in a blue moon, there's something great, but rarely is it about greatness there.
And you have to keep in mind, when they're serving 5,000 people for dinner, and they have six main dishes, that they're preparing them in mass. And so they're going to be sitting there for a time. Yeah. And you'll want to think about what's going to be good if it's like holding for a minute. It's not just coming off the grill and coming directly to your plate.
You and Olivia got the fish that obviously didn't hold
we got some, I think it was cod or snapper or something like that, and I always get fish when we're out because we don't cook it a lot at home, and so I figure it's a low-calorie choice. It came, and it didn't say this on the menu, but it was covered in like a tomato sauce, and my daughter just will not, she doesn't like that, she won't eat it, and I tried it, and it was not great. There were plenty of other things.
More stuff
there were plenty of other things, and the desserts were good.
That goes back to your whole don't eat it if it doesn't taste great.
So I didn't like it, so I didn't eat it.
So anyway, we'll do a further video that kind of walks you through some strategies for success cruising on buffets and main dining rooms and specialty dining and the whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
But if you've never tried MSC, we recommend it. It's
a
great value cruise line.
They have good coffee. They have espresso machines in every bar, which is nice. On some ships we've been on, there's only one coffee bar. And so there's a line 20 miles long of people that want a latte in the morning because it's included with your drink package. So there was nothing, there was no hold up to get coffee, which I really liked.
So that's the cruise for right now. We'll do maybe 1 or 2 more videos about the cruise, but we've got, 3 or 4 or 5, several more this year. And the rest of the year we'll be cruising. It'll just be Lorraine and I, and we'll be on a couple of back-to-backs or side-to-sides, which if you don't know, a back-to-back is the one cruise right after the other on the same ship. A side-to-side is you're on one cruise ship and you change cruise ships to another one.
Yeah.
So we cruise differently, believe it or not, when it's just us versus with our kids. So it's a different set of strategies there. But we have fun, and we enjoy it, and we work for ourselves and from home, and the internet's good. As you saw, we streamed on the cruise ship. If you didn't catch that, you can go watch it. And we'll be doing a live from the cruise ship, the whole 9 yards.
In September, we're flying to Miami, and then really we're going to be one 7-day cruise, and then get off that cruise, and then immediately get on to another.
So we'll be on the Carnival Horizon.
And I'm a little worried that my food's going to go off the rails on that one. So I'm going to definitely have to have some strategies in place.
Well, but I think when you're on the ship that long, the perspective changes dramatically. Because you kick at some point you kick into everyday life. It's not.
Well, and that's kind of my theory on eating out. Like when you're younger, eating out maybe is a treat, and it's not something you get to do so often, so you want to have some fun foods. And then at some point in your life, maybe you eat out more often, and it's really just another meal. So every meal doesn't have to be extravagant. Like, you still need to follow some kind of eating plan, have some guidelines for yourself on what your goals are and how you want to accomplish them.
Well, I know you had a lady comment that she was on a 28-day cruise like next week or something to Europe, or
that would be a real
I think it sounds great, but
challenge.
you got to figure after a few days of the buffet
Yeah,
you're no longer gorging
get,
your shit. You're right. You're just
get
like
sick of that buffet real quick.
And there's other options on the shelf, so
Yeah.
that shouldn't be an issue. It's no longer this exciting thing.
I guess I'll get up and put my exercise clothes on and go to the gym for an hour and then go to the pool. Like you probably have a routine, I guess you would get into 28 days in.
To those of you who were able to catch the live, thank you. We popped on at I think 10 o'clock in the morning, and went, is anybody going to watch us? And
Is this thing on?
I think there was 50 people on there talking to us. Yeah. Had our first troll. That was exciting. Had to ban them. Not even a very exciting troll, but we did, and that was that. It's on the channel. If you want to go back and watch it, please do. But it's been a great week for the YouTube channel, right? We were on the cruise, so we had pre-recorded virtually everything, and we did the 8 reasons why you may not be losing on GLP-1s, and that story has just blown through the roof.
Yeah, if you haven't checked out that video, 8 reasons why you're not losing weight on your GLP-1 medication. People want to know what to do. People want to know what's going to stop them from losing weight. People want to know, how am I going to lose weight faster? Check out that video.
And check out the comments, because there's like a whole secondary conversation among all 100 plus comments on there. People giving each other tips and encouragement. And
I'm always so amazed at the people who really still have not heard of these GLP-1 medications. I went to Weight Watchers Saturday, and I've been talking about my weight loss and my GLP-1 medications and tirzepatide, and several women in that group have basically started them because of my just talking about it. They've gone to their doctor and such, and there was a lady that spoke in the meeting today and gave her big long story and how she's tried her whole life and now she's trying this medication and it's really working for her. And there was a lady who I've seen in there always in the meeting who just in a huff stood up and walked out of the meeting. And somebody said she just said, this isn't the place to talk about weight loss medication. The Weight Watchers isn't the place for this. And she leaves in a huff. And I really just got to thinking about that because Weight Watchers has started their own platform called Sequence, where you can go on and pay them a monthly membership fee, just like I do with Mochi, and they will connect you with a doctor, and the doctor can prescribe you weight loss medications. I constantly get emails from Weight Watchers to join this plan. On the Weight Watchers app, there's also a GLP-1 side where you can, if you're on a GLP-1 medication, you can flip the app over and you only track grams of protein instead of tracking points.
So the lady was talking about she had started. What did she say?
She said it was just something that Lorraine said in a meeting, and so I talked to my doctor, and she talked about how her whole family was overweight, and she was the thinnest one in her family while still being overweight, and when she was younger, she could exercise it off and maybe not eat dinner for a couple nights, and she'd be at her goal weight, and now that doesn't work for her anymore as she approaches 40. I think she was trying to justify the medication to herself and to the group.
We've all been in that place.
And some people were very receptive, and just some people are just really still not receptive at all. And I always think about my group at Weight Watchers is there's some people that were thin throughout their whole lives, and then they gained weight, and then they went to Weight Watchers, and they dieted and exercised, and they became thin again. And then there's some people that have been overweight their whole lives, and they go to Weight Watchers, and they diet and exercise, and they lose a little bit of weight, and they do okay for a while, and then maybe they stop doing it, and they stop coming, and then the weight comes back, and then they rinse and repeat. People that don't have the disease of obesity, it's really hard for them to understand people that do have the disease of obesity. They don't understand the food noise and the constant wanting to eat.
No, they think you're just lazy.
And they still think it's a moral failing when we know now obesity is a disease. It's not your fault. It's just, at times it just gets disheartening because I'm like, we say this over and over, and I say it to everybody that I meet and everybody I talk to, and it's still, people still don't know. You know what I mean?
Well, there's 100 years of history of diet culture. At least 50.
I need my own TV show.
right? So, the 5 months we've been doing this, we haven't changed it
I know,
yet,
I'm
babe.
impatient. Like impatient with weight loss. I'm impatient with people embracing GLP-1 medications. Oh, we'll keep talking about it. We'll keep telling you how we're doing, and we'll keep having people on that are using this medication. And a year from now, this could be a totally different landscape in terms of availability and knowledge and resources and other drugs that might be coming out.
Well, and so to that point, as I mentioned, I did a whole segment, kind of a deeper dive on the CEO of Eli Lilly talking about removing Zep Bound and Mounjaro from the FDA shortage list, and they then removed them from the FDA shortage list. If you haven't watched those videos, please take a moment, go look at them, leave a comment, like and subscribe. But if you don't do anything else, if you have a Zep Bound or Mounjaro prescription out there and you are having a hard time getting it, go to the FDA website and report the shortage. I'll put the link in the description.
Yeah, put the link.
The biggest thing is Eli Lilly is self-reporting. There's nobody checking on that to see whether that's true or not. There's no drug police out there that are going to search factories or shelves. So if you're having a problem, please truthfully go report the shortage so that the FDA can make sure that list is correct.
Yeah, and I tried to find the 15 milligram Zep Bound for your prescription at CVS, and they're like, no, it's on back order. We can't get it. Sorry. We don't know when it's going to come in. There's obviously still shortages. This didn't resolve overnight like Eli Lilly would try to have you believe.
And the challenge beyond that being, so I have a prescription for Zep Bound, so theoretically I should be able to get it. I also have a prescription for compounded, right?
Mm-hmm. And Mounjaro.
Compounded is definitely at peril. We do believe, and I'll go into it in depth in the video, that there will continue to be compounded tirzepatide and semaglutide, but once it's pulled off the shortage list, some of the options go away. So if it should be on the shortage list and the FDA doesn't have the right data, that they won't know. Please go report it if you're having a shortage. I cannot say it enough. The link will be in the description. If you haven't already checked out our website, thedownsized.org, please take a minute when you're done watching this and go check it out. It gives you a lot of great resources. I'm putting as many links as possible as I can on a weekly basis to things you may be interested, like that FDA shortage list is on the site. You can link to Mochi as well. We also have our GLP-1 companion product store. Tell them about the stuff on the companion product store.
Yeah, so they're Amazon links. We're Amazon affiliates, so we make a small commission anytime someone purchases through our link, but it's things that basically I've used on this journey. Christopher's not one for protein powder or electrolytes, but I'm a big fan of Premier Protein Powder, Premier Protein Shakes. I put it in my coffee every morning to get a little bit more protein. I use electrolytes in my water, especially the days I do heavy aerobic workouts.
There's a scale.
Our scale is on there.
The Ninja Creamy that my family's in love right now.
Yeah, some protein bars that I like are on there. Protein bars, if you're really wanting something sweet and you get up one of those high gram protein bars, that shuts my craving right down. That'll do it.
So there's the options that we believe, and as we always say, there are some essentials, and we list 4 or 5 essentials at the top, but they're basic ones that everybody says, so it's not like we created anything new. And honestly, you don't have to spend any money on any of the rest of this stuff. These drugs are so expensive.
Yeah, people ask us, what do I need to buy starting off? And I always say, just have a constipation remedy handy.
It's a good multivitamin you should be taking. Just you're going to eat less food. Vitamins are good.
And one of the ladies I talked to at Weight Watchers that just started on Wegovy said, hers was diarrhea. And I have just the opposite problem. So you never know what your
but you can always add those
do.
things in. And although I would love it if you'd buy them from Amazon through our affiliate codes, CVS has them, Walmart has them, Kroger has them, you name it.
Miralax,
they're out there. They're available. That's our story. Please make sure to join us on Thursday at 7 p.m. for the Downsized Live, where you can ask us questions and connect with our amazing community. You want to close this out?
Yeah, thank you for being a valued member of our Downsized family as we navigate the journey of GLP-1 together. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay updated. I'm Lorraine.
And I'm Christopher. Until next time, take care and stay well.